And good evening, everyone, and welcome to OBX Today Live Storm Watch. I'm Sam Walker on this Friday evening, January 14th, 2021. Wanted to jump on board tonight and give you the latest on what we're thinking here on the Outer Banks as far as the storm system is concerned. We are going to see some precipitation. We're going to get rained on, and we're going to get blown. It's kind of a same old typical winter storm for here on the Outer Banks and just inland along the Sounds. Farther west you go in North Carolina, obviously it's going to get a little bit snowier, icier. It's going to be a mess, and it's not the only storm we're dealing with, at least right now. The pattern kind of setting up for potential for another one in about 7 to 10 days. Way too early to be talking about that. We're just going to focus tonight here on what we've got coming our way in the next 48 hours. Really, by this time Sunday, it'll be all rain here on the Outer Banks. But there is a possibility that things might start out, and I emphasize might start out as, some type of precipitation of the wintry variety early on Sunday morning as things get in. Perrin, good evening. Thanks for checking in with us, and thanks for all you folks who joined us tonight here on OBX Today Live. On YouTube, the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel, and on the OBX Today and Sam Walker OBX Facebook pages. And we're going to do this tomorrow and Sunday. We'll do an update tomorrow morning with the latest, and again tomorrow evening ahead of the arrival of the storm, and then Sunday morning once things get cranked up, and then as the day goes on. And not only will we have updates here, we'll have updates over on our radio stations on Beach 104, Big 94.5, 99.1 The Sound, and also Z92.3. We'll have updates throughout. Our biggest expectation out of this storm is going to be the possibility of some sound side issues and overwash on the ocean side. We're focusing more on this one with the sound side. It's going to be your normal situation when we get a pretty decent blow, like what we had almost 2 weeks ago. But it's going to be in a little different direction this time because the winds on this system actually are going to be starting out of the southwest. I'm going to go now to the National Weather Service briefing we got from our friends down at Newport Morehead City this afternoon and show you what they are telling us as far as we're concerned with the weather tonight, the main points, and we'll just kind of run through this briefing somewhat quickly. But and we're going to get this up at obxtoday.com. I haven't had a chance to get over and reset the website just because it's been a busy afternoon of other things that have to be taken care of. But we are going to get you an update here in just a second on the website at obxtoday.com. But wanted to do this video update for you tonight. Just kind of give you an idea as now the National Weather Service has put out its first full briefing for this system. We have a better idea what to expect. So first off, as you can see, coastal flooding is kind of the top of the line today. Minor to moderate, 1 to 3 foot above ground water levels. Minor ocean overwash is also possible and could possibly impact travel along Highway 12. But as I said, minor on the ocean side. This really seems to be more of a potential for some sound side issues down south, all on the sound side of the Outer Banks, and that's because the winds are going to start out in a different direction than they normally do. Now, as far as the wintry weather is concerned, we really aren't looking for much out here. It's going to be west of Highway 17 early Sunday morning with the possibility of some icy roads. Now, keep in mind, NCDOT not taking any chances. This was today in Coinjock, and on 158 and 168, NCDOT had their brine trucks out today, putting down the salt and water mixture just to pre-treat the roads, just in case this starts out as a little bit more wintry weather with the early morning on Sunday commute. It's going to be dry tomorrow, but we may start out with some rain, snow, more snow than rain mix up on the northern end of Currituck. And then as you get farther west towards Elizabeth City, so they're just not taking any chances, want to go ahead and get the roads pre-treated. So they are out doing that this morning. into this afternoon. They did a pretty good job of getting 158 and 168 with a coating on all 5 lanes of that salt brine earlier today. All right, we are looking at a pretty decent wind event. Strong winds are possible, mainly along the coast. The strongest are going to be Sunday and Sunday night. Heavy rainfall is possible with this storm system as we're looking throughout the day and into Sunday evening. And then on the marine side, on the ocean waters, and on the sound side, dangerous seas, strong gale to storm force winds are possible, and that's going to be on Sunday and Monday. Looks like the greatest impacts, again, are for coastal flooding. That seems to be the primary problem out of this storm on the land, and then the marine areas are going to be in an extreme situation. So what we're looking at least what the National Weather Service is telling us with regards to coastal flooding, this is kind of a catch-all. This is kind of a generic forecast at this point for this coastal flood event with 1 to 3 foot water level rises along the sound side from Duck to Avon and Buxton. Now, it's a little less down south on Hatteras and Ocracoke. I'll get to why in just a little bit. The ocean side from Duck to Cape Hatteras, Corolla to Cape Hatteras, really I should add that in there, Corolla to Cape Hatteras. The east-facing beaches seem to be primary place where we could see some overwash with high tide on Sunday and into Monday. And that's something we need to not forget about, is that Sunday and Monday, this is not just a Sunday event, this is possibly a Monday event for us as well. Max wave heights anywhere from 12 feet close to shore up to 15 to 20 feet offshore. But as you get farther down south, it's in the 12 to 15 foot range just off the beaches. That's probably going to mean about an 8 to 10 foot surf, maybe even up to 12, but it's more going to be like an 8 to 10 foot surf event. Sound side, looking at 4 foot waves on the Pamlico, 3 to 4, 3 feet on the Albemarle Sound, 2 to 3 feet on the Currituck Sound as well out of this. Now, as far as any possible snowfall, this is from our friends at the National Weather Service down in Newport. This is what they're forecasting right now, is less than an inch possible of snow, and this includes part of the Wakefield area, and I've got a map from them in a second that I'll show, but they're looking at a dusting at best, really from Elizabeth City over to Plymouth, down to Greenville and Kinston. You really don't see the snowfall show up on this map till you get on up towards Roanoke Rapids and really west of Roanoke Rapids towards Henderson. And I've got some other maps that we can look at for the interior sections of northeastern North Carolina. As far as any icing concerns, that also seems to be limited to west of US 17, really along the 13 corridor and on out to 258. It seems like, and it's less than a tenth of an inch, a hundredth of an inch, maybe up to a tenth of an inch down as you get towards Duplin County and those areas and towards the southeastern part of the state. We're really not looking at anything with the ice and snow. Rainfall amounts could be 2 to 3 inches on Hatteras and Ocracoke, 1.5 to 2 inches on the North Beaches. Same thing kind of as you get onto the mainland areas and up into northeastern North Carolina. On the Albemarle Sound shoreline, 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall from Sunday into early Monday. Max wind gusts, probably about 40 to 50 miles an hour possible. That's the range right along the beaches as you get farther inland, in the 30s to 40s. Those are expected throughout the day, Sunday and into Monday. But something this doesn't show is the direction of those winds. I'll get to that as well. There is a possibility of a few isolated heavy thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms with this. Stronger thunderstorms, especially along the immediate coast, from Kitty Hawk on down to Ocracoke, Sunday afternoon and into Sunday evening. So confidence is high that this event will be happening, and expecting moderate impacts with minor to moderate sound side flooding, ocean overwash possible along from Corolla down to Buxton. Again, a period of snow, sleet, and freezing rain could make travel hazardous along and west of Highway 17. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour, rainfall of 1 to 3 inches, and then 10 to 20-foot seas with gale to storm force winds that could cause some powerful surf, minor erosion at the beaches. That's where the National Weather Service is thinking. Now, I'm going to switch over to a couple of the maps for you. First off, this is the latest map from the National Weather Service as far as all the watches and warnings. We do have now a winter storm warning for western North Carolina and the western Piedmont. A winter storm watch in effect for central North Carolina, going over to I-95 and then on up to the Richmond area along 95 and west is where the winter storm watch is currently in effect. Statewide, here's what the North Carolina Emergency Management has put out, which is kind of a conglomeration of all the stuff we've talked about. For us, it's really going to be on the ocean side and the sound side that we're going to be worried about. But this gives you an idea of what they're thinking as you get farther inland. Precipitation will start to increase in coverage and intensity from west to east Saturday night and continue through Sunday evening. Heavy snow across the mountains, a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain across the Piedmont could lead to significant travel impacts, potential power outages. Eastern North Carolina will see a few hours of wintry mix before precipitation changes to rain late Sunday morning. Rain may transition to snow across the northwest Piedmont Sunday evening. And then Monday, the precipitation ends. Travel impacts are likely into Monday. Confidence continues to increase, and a major winter storm will impact parts of the state, with heavy snow across the mountains and foothills and significant and damaging ice accumulations across portions of the Piedmont, leading to hazardous road conditions and downed trees and power outages. The greatest ice totals are expected across the Charlotte metro, southeast of I-85. Talked about the winter storm warnings and winter storm watches that have been issued for much of North Carolina. And again, those of us here in eastern North Carolina may see a little period of wintry weather in the morning, some slick roads, but for the most part, it's going to be a rain and wind event. Here's the winter storm warnings and watches as they stand right now. Again, everything's west of I-95. There is an ice storm warning for upstate South Carolina, Columbia to Greenville. Winter storm warning for Charlotte, Asheville. Winter storm watch, everything else around that. The Triad out to the Triangle down to Fayetteville. Right now, that's probably going to be changed as we get into the day. So far, snowfall totals expected across the state. It could be looking at about 8 to 12 inches in some parts of the mountains. Anywhere from 4 inches to in Asheville. You get on east, maybe 6 inches towards Hickory. But then things kind of back down a little bit, honestly. We're looking at probably 3 inches for the western Piedmont, and then it really drops off as you get towards Greensboro and Raleigh, Asheboro, those places. They're going to get more ice than they're going to see snow out of this system. Again, possibility of a little bit of snowfall accumulation for areas west of US 17. You can see it right along Chowan County into Gates County, maybe possibly a 1/10 to a 1/3 of an inch. But the ice is going to be the big problem. This is a map also from the National Weather Service combining out. They're looking at, you go from Charlotte over to Monroe and Albemarle to Rockingham. That's going to be the biggest accumulations of ice in North Carolina. A little less, you head up towards Asheboro and into the Triad and the Triangle. The Sandhills, the western Sandhills, going to be getting really the bulk of the ice and into the Charlotte, the eastern suburbs of Charlotte. All right, here's what the National Weather Service is thinking along the lines of what this storm is going to look like map-wise. This is for Sunday morning through Sunday afternoon. I'm going to back this up a little bit here, maybe to give a better view of it. There we go. Okay, so this is roughly this time tomorrow. You can see, well, no, this is actually right, essentially right now. The low is way out in the Midwest. They're getting some pretty decent snow out in our other market in Iowa right now. This system is going to combine up with a low that's going to be over Texas, get down to the Gulf Coast, or really not to the Gulf Coast, but it's going to be feeding off the moisture coming up from the Gulf. And that's going to give it the energy it needs, the fuel it needs to start ramping up. So here's how things look. Saturday night, Sunday morning, we start to see the precipitation moving into North Carolina. Mostly a snow, but ice expected down here. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s in those areas. And then looking ahead to Sunday midday, you can see it's a rain event for us. We're up almost to 60 at Hatteras. Sunday looks like the high is going to be 55 to 60 on Sunday. And then that rain and snow and ice out to the west. And then as the low crosses over us on Sunday night and Monday morning, the wraparound situation, we talk about that a lot with storms like this, is not so much we get, what's going out in front of the storm. It's what's behind the center of the system as it passes into the ocean. This is not going to get out to the ocean. That's one thing that's probably keeping us from really seeing any of the big effects winter-wise. We're going to see more of that southerly flow because if you go back and look, that low is sitting almost due west of the Outer Banks, right over I-95. That means we're going to be on the south flow of this storm, and that means we're going to see the warmer water or warmer air coming up, relatively speaking. But it also means we're going to be more of a west and south wind event. And that's where the sound side flooding is going to get a little bit more prominent. By midday on Monday or early Monday morning, the low's already up over the Delmarva. And by the afternoon, it's already up over New England. And not much wraparound moisture is expected. The wraparound is going to hit out into the mountains where we're going to be on the dry side of this thing as we get into the day on Monday. This is the GFS model, and it shows what's they're thinking as far as the moisture goes. It is interesting to note we did get a blow today, and that has stirred the ocean up. There's a low that's sitting out offshore now, and that's why we had these north winds today here on the beach that were pretty significant. And as the day went on, we saw, the surf really has gotten angry. If I go back to my live shot here. This is a live shot right now from Jeanette's Pier. And you can see it got a little bit angrier as the day went on. And that's at Jeanette's. Let's see, Corolla. There you go. How things look at Corolla right now coming up on high tide. In fact, high tide it was at 6 o'clock. So we're just coming off high tide. And you can see how high the water is up right now. Today or right now, and we're going to keep this north wind to tomorrow. Only supposed to get up to 41 tomorrow with a north wind around 15 gusts to 20. So we're going to keep that north wind, and that's going to help stir the ocean up. Then it's going to shift to the east. I'll get to that in a second, though. Here's that other snowfall map I was looking for. I'll go back to that in a second. GFS, let me bring that back up over here. Here's the GFS. There's the low out over Texas. The one model we want to get, which is called the HRR, still isn't going out far enough really to handle the storm yet, at least as far as what's available to the public without having to pay for it. But we'll have that data for tomorrow because the HRR is considered really the one that the short-term model that really should have a good handle on what this thing's going to do. So here it is. Saturday night over Alabama, Mississippi with the rain starting to really build. Then it gets over to Florida Panhandle, then starts moving up into Georgia, and then then here in eastern North Carolina. And again, that orange and yellow right there that I'm kind of highlighting, that is where the bulk of the precipitation is, and that's why they're thinking we might see a little bit of severe weather. The snow and ice off to the west. Here's things as they look Monday at midnight as the precipitation's winding down. The storm's starting to get up into the mid-Atlantic, and then off of Long Island by midday on Monday. And all the precipitation is out of here, and our winds are going to stay up for a couple of days before we get some high pressure in here. And that helps things out. I'm going to run this out longer because I had someone, okay. You want to get a little excited. This is for next Saturday. That's the GFS with a low offshore. That's a lot of blue over us. That's a week from now. Way too early. Way too early. Way too early. But if you start seeing people talk about it, it's still too soon to know, but we may have to keep an eye on that one. All right, here's a map I got from Wakefield. This is their summary that they put out about 4:30. If you are up in northern Virginia or headed up to Virginia on Sunday, or if you're up there now watching us Looks like 4 to 6 feet up on the foothills, Charlottesville, those areas. 4 to 6 feet. Get to Richmond, maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow. About 2 inches Petersburg, less than an inch Williamsburg. So that normal line right along the peninsula, the northern neck, the upper peninsula, and then out towards the south side of Virginia. It's going to be a pretty, it's going to be nothing and then something. That's how things look. But a pretty sharp gradient in snow sleet accumulations near or just west of I-95. Let's see. All right. Yep. Thanks for checking in, folks. Tony, Skeeter, Perrin, thanks that. Yeah. We're doing our best here. I know I've been chattering along as we've gone through the night. I usually like to be able to see the comments live. We aren't able to do that because, again, the Facebook app on my phone just does not want to let the comments come through live for whatever reason. And in fact, I can't even get the live video to show properly. So, but yeah, we're going to be doing this tonight. We'll be back with you tomorrow with some live updates as well, as we want to keep you posted on what's going on with our coastal storm. All right, this is the winds. This is windy.com. A lot of folks like to use this app. Really gives you a good idea of what some of the models are thinking when it comes to winds. Right now, and you can see that northwest wind we've had the last, for really all day today, is showing up real well. Let me see if I can zoom down on this. I want to really give you a better idea of what we're looking at here locally in the Outer Banks. I wish it would give me just one. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. I'm going to take that. So you see we got that northwest wind. That's all the way out to next Saturday. I don't want to go that far yet. We're getting too far ahead. All right. I'm going to just hit play. Here's how things played out today with that northwest wind shifting a little bit more to a north and then back to northwest as the day's gone on. Into this evening, we'll start seeing things go more northerly tomorrow morning. So we're going to keep the surf's going to stay up on the beach, on the east-facing beaches tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Then we see more of a northeasterly component overnight tomorrow night. It's not blowing all that strong, though, thankfully. But you can see down south really starting to pick up, but it's coming in from the southeast. So we don't normally get a strong southeast wind this time of year, and it's very rare we get a strong southeast wind to begin with, unless we get a storm system that's going to do what this does. So this is midday on Sunday. Center of the system's out down to our southwest over central North Carolina, or making its way towards central North Carolina. You see a lot of wind flow up on the south-facing beaches. Southeast wind, Ocracoke, Buxton, Avon. Look at 59 is one of the highs that, what model is this? This is the European model, is predicting a 59 degrees on Sunday afternoon in Avon and Ocracoke. All right, then as we get into the evening, really start to see things ramp up, and it's still out of the southeast. So, again, that presents a problem for the beaches, but it really also creates a unique situation where Stumpy Point, Hyde County, Mans Harbor, you start getting up into Elizabeth City, and the coastal rivers up there. You get up where I'm at here in Currituck, we start seeing that water come up. And the rough waves, a southeast, man, I don't really want a southeast. That's like the worst one for my dock and bulkhead. My dock, bulkhead, not so much. The dock does not like that. All right. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, pretty strong, stout east, but then things really switch. Center of the system gets up over us and off to the north, and we see it go to a more westerly blow. And then it backs down by midnight, but then starts picking up again early out of the southwest early Monday morning, and then kind of subsides somewhat. So we could be looking at, with high tide around 7, 8 o'clock Monday morning, we might have a little high tide soundside flooding to deal with on Monday morning. That was the Euro. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the GFS, see what it says here. Go to right now and blow things out. Tomorrow, yeah, see it's more northerly and not as strong. This is more of an easterly wind on the GFS. And then by Sunday night, we're already switched to the west. So, well, there's our southeast around 6 o'clock. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a long period of one direction wind. So that's going to help us some. We're not going to see it blow from one direction for 12 hours. We're maybe looking at a couple hours. It's going to be rotating around the compass on Sunday as far as the winds go. The NAM seems to be more of a northerly northeasterly on Saturday. Then Sunday more of a northeasterly, and then into Sunday afternoon before southeast on Sunday night. The NAM is a short-term model. It's going to be a little different than what we're used to. We're not going to call this a nor'easter by any stretch of the imagination. It's not a nor'easter. It's a sou'easter or southwester or south. So it's definitely going to be a lot different than what we've had with some of our phones here. So, or some of our storms, our recent storms anyway. Or one that was 2 weeks ago. That one, of course, we got that hard north. We'd had southwest for a couple of days and got a hard northeast. And that really did some stuff that pushed all the water down south. This is going to be a little different direction. So maybe some areas that haven't seen some soundside flooding recently with the storms might see it this time. So that's where we're at there. Real quick, NCDOT did post this picture from around this evening. The view of the Bass Knight Bridge at Oregon Inlet. Just a heads up, we expect some bad weather to move through on Sunday. Among the possibilities are blown sand, standing water, ocean overwash, soundside flooding, especially at high tide, and they'll keep you up to date, as we will do as well right here. All right, so our OBX today Weather Center forecast is looking like this. Partly cloudy tonight, breezy, low right around freezing. Northwest winds 20 miles an hour, gust to 25. Partly sunny Saturday, high 41. North winds of 15, gust to 25. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Then the rain starts before sunrise, a low 33. Sunday, rain mainly after 10 a.m., high 54. It's going to be windy. East winds 15 to 20, picking up to 25 to 30 in the afternoon, gusts to 40. Sunday night, the rain continues until after midnight, windy with a low around 40 and a southeast wind of 20 to 30, switching to the southwest after midnight. Mostly sunny, still windy on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, and 49. Sunny Tuesday and 45. It looks like we might have some rain for the second half of next week. All right. And let's see. Y'all just saw the forecast pop up there on the screen. Rather than, y'all don't want to see me, do you? No, you want to see the ocean. That's what everybody likes to see. That's one of the reasons y'all come here. You want to see the ocean. We'll give it to you to close things out. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of OBX Today Live Storm Watch. Back with you tomorrow morning. We're looking at shooting for 9 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to do some live updates with Jody and Cap Marty tomorrow on the other side of fishing on Beach 104 and Big 94.5 WCMS. Probably around 8 o'clock or so tomorrow. We'll be on there. And then we'll, right now, let's plan on 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then we'll do an evening update as well here on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you mash the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell to know when we go live. We'll get notifications that way. And share it. Let everybody know what's going on, and we'll keep you up to date with what's happening here on the Outer Banks as far as this winter storm that's coming through for Martin Luther King weekend. All right, I'm Sam Walker. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the radio and here online. And keep you up to date with the latest at obxtoday.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
A simple binary code transmitted by carrier wave signal. Radio.
Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.